Friends, it is Nomad Brad coming to you from another person's box truck. That is right, I am here at a box truck build that is not mine. Internet's a little spotty, so we're using Nomad Internet. My regular cell phone reception was not very good, so I busted out the Nomad with the battery pack, and it looks like I have enough bars to go live. So we're gonna hope for the best. I'm kind of down here in the hills in San Diego, and so hopefully the internet will hold out and we can do a live stream and we can talk about box trucks. How's everybody doing? Who's with me? Anybody? Is anybody watching? Drop a comment. Let me know. Let me know how it's going. John C., Mr. Chorizo in the house. Happy to see you, John C. Are you with the daughter today? Tell me how it's going. I'm not using the gimbal, just using my iPhone stand, so hopefully this will work out. Hold on, let me set something up better. Charles, hello. Happy to see you. Let's try this. This looks like it'll work. We're improvising with borrowed items. There we go. Look at that. Now we got a little stand for the tripod. All right. Hello. So I think I'm a little bit early. I think we just hit 6 o'clock Pacific. So I'm going to wait for people to trickle in. Hello, Super Dave. Happy to see you, Super Dave. Happy to have you here. Super Dave is one of my biggest supporters. I appreciate him every time he shows up for the live. I appreciate all you guys. Diana Saylor, Super Dave, appreciate the support. John C., 20-year-old daughter coming for Father's Day on Sunday. Salad with lean meat and chorizo. Happy to hear it. John C. dropped a little tips for me on my chorizo acquisition, and so I think I'm going to need to figure out the chorizo game. I can't say that I think I've probably had chorizo before, like at a restaurant, but I don't believe I've actually had any like homemade. Definitely haven't made my own, so it's on the list. I'm going to attempt to make that for myself. And so what we're going to talk about today is electrical and solar. I'm doing an electrical build in a box truck, and this is a pretty advanced electrical system. They got a lot of cool components, a lot of fancy components, and so I'm excited to be able to wire it up. Electrical is like my favorite thing. That's what I love the most, and so I'm happy to do that. You know, you couldn't pay me enough to build you a cabinet in your box truck. I do not like carpentry, but I will do electrical all day. Happy to do it. So let's go ahead and just show you guys what we're working with. So here is the current setup. And so what we got going on, Zane Johnston, happy live chat Wednesday. You got it, Zane. Happy live Wednesday. Happy to have you guys here. Here's what we got going on in the box truck. The client has 3 Battleborn Game Changer 3.0 batteries. These things are a beast. They're 12 volt lithium ion. I think they are almost 300 amp hours a piece. So they're very rugged. It says 270 amp hours. So almost 300 amp hours a piece. She's got 3 of them, bringing in over 900 amp hours. So she will have plenty of power for all of her off-grid activities. Additionally, she has a Victron MultiPlus inverter charger. And so the thing about this unit is that you can hook up shore power into it, and then you can also hook up your batteries. Bumley Mumblepeg, greetings from Texas. Happy to see you. Happy to have you here. I do enjoy Texas, do not enjoy the Texas weather. But everything else about Texas, I do enjoy. I heard it's pretty hot right now, and here in San Diego, it's a nice breezy 75 degrees, so I'm happy to be here, not there. So she's got the inverter charger that gets hooked up to the shore power, and then additionally, it goes out to the breaker box, and then from the breaker box, it connects to all the 110 volt appliances. Also, the batteries plug into it. And so it will keep your batteries charged from shore power, and also it will invert the battery power and power all your 110 volt devices. And the power from the battery flows in to this on-off switch, and then it goes into this unit here. This is a power distribution center. It also has a shunt built in right here. So this will measure all of your electrical current in and out of the batteries. And so this is how you will know how much energy you're actually using. So the shunt is a very handy device. They make them in all different shapes and sizes. This is the Victron version. And then this is the Lynx distributor. It's a distribution center for all your 12 volt appliances. So already I've hooked up the 12 volt fused distribution block. And so that will power all of the 12 volt circuits, the LED lighting, the fans, USB ports, her bed lift, water pump, all that stuff runs right off here. Desert Van Life, hello from Flagstaff. Happy to see you. How's the weather in Flagstaff? Curious what it's like. I know Flagstaff is a good spot for nomads in summer. And so I would like to visit. I'm thinking maybe next year I will spend the entire year in Arizona. So I'll kick it off with winter down south in Yuma, and we'll do all the van life stuff. We'll go to Schoolie Palooza, we'll go to Van Aid, and whatever other van life gatherings are happening. And then next summer, I was thinking maybe I'll just head north. Desert Van Life says 80s during the day, mid 40s at night. I like it. I like 80s during the day. I like a cooler temperature at night too. That's nice for sleeping. I like to be cold when I sleep. And so it's pretty cool to be able to drop down to the 40s, crack a window, get the van nice and chilly. But then also you have 80s during the day, nice and sunny. So I think that's pretty cool. Someone asked about dual alternator charging. As far as dual alternator charging, it can be a good choice if you want to try to pull a lot of power out of your alternator, when the engine's running. You can draw 50 amps, which is like 500, or let's see, 50 amps is like 700 watts, I think. So you can pull quite a bit just from your factory alternator on most vehicles. So I think that's pretty sufficient. But yeah, you can do a dual alternator if you like. Maybe if you're in a spot that doesn't have a lot of solar. Diana Saylor asked about mixing brands. You can absolutely mix and match brands. It really doesn't matter. I've seen a dual alternator build on a YouTuber that looks complicated. Yeah, if it looks complicated, don't mess with it. You don't need it. Some people like to take concepts and get crazy. I don't think it really matters. Diana Saylor, yes, you can use, you can mix and match brands. It doesn't matter. A lot of people like Victron, or they'll pick a brand, just like with anything else. Some people only wear Nike shoes, but with electronics, you can mix and match all this stuff. In some cases, you want to stick with a brand, because within a brand, a lot of times the components will communicate. So like with this Victron system, all the different components talk to each other. And so it's nice to have all Victron system. Chocolate syrup, you didn't miss nothing. I'll show you guys around the box. A few more people to roll in. Let's see, Super Dave asked 300 amp hours for a 24 volt system. Now, if you're talking about 300 amp hours at 24 volts, then yeah, that's sufficient. I only have 200 amp hours at 24 volts. I have 400 amp hours at 12 volts. But by the time I put them to 24, cuts the amp hours in half. So if you have 300 amp hours at 24 volts, you have more power than me. And I'm doing a lot with the power I have. So 300 at 24 volts is a good choice. Let's see, 369. just to give you an idea, these 300 amp hour batteries at 24 volts, you'd be looking at about, what do we say, 369? You'd be looking at about 450 amp hours at 24 volts. So 300 is pretty good. Let's see, what else, what other questions do we have? Well, I'll give you guys a little tour. It's been 10 minutes. The people are asking, they want to see the box truck. And so this isn't my build. This is Wanderbox. King Gamer, I didn't miss nothing, bro. It was beautiful out here. I was enjoying it, doing some work, getting paid. I'll jump down and show this to you guys. So there's my rig, of course, up front. This is your, okay, sorry about that. I stepped out of the range of my, my little Wi-Fi box. Anyway, so you can see it's a big Suzu box truck. So it's got the door on the back. I love this design. I'm definitely going to incorporate this into my next box truck. I mean, look at that. You can open it up. You have this big platform deck that you can hang out on, stand on it, sit on it, a bunch of extra living space. And then that top drawer folds down. And the upper door, though, I've seen ones where they put a window in it. So when I do mine, I will put a window in the upper door. But I love this design. It really opens up the box, especially when you're in a beautiful location like this. And so I'll give you guys a little tour. This is the bed bench area. They got a couple windows at top. The windows are a little bit high for my liking, but that's where they are. And so this is gonna have an elevator bed. Hey, how are you?
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Okay, I'm coming from the dentist.
Uh-huh.
I'm hurting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm just doing it live, showing the people some electrical. Made really good progress on the electrical today.
Oh yeah.
And so it's coming along nicely.
Cool.
I'm gonna stop by Home Depot on the way in tomorrow and grab a couple little items. And there's a couple other things we'll want to order, but it's not like a rush, you know. So I'll just get with you on that.
Okay.
Like a couple fuses and stuff. So.
Okay. I should get those ordered because they're only here Thursday and Friday.
Yep. So I'll talk to you about that before I leave tonight.
Yeah, but to handle your live, I'll tell you.
Oh, no worries. Oh, there's a coyote. Whoa. I don't think you guys can see it. I don't think this zooms in, but there's a coyote over here. It just ran off in the distance. Pretty cool. There's a lot of nature out here. There's also wild peacocks that roam around. Anyway, okay, so what do we got? We got the box. This is the bed bench. This is the electrical. It'll have a lid on it like this. And then this is her, this is gonna be a shower right here. Putting in a pretty large shower. She's got a cool little porthole on the side, which is, she'll be able to open up when she's taking the shower, let the steam out, and have a kind of a cool little light source coming in. She's got the 12-volt Dometic on the roof. And so that will, that'll give her plenty of cooling over the summertime. And then additionally, she's got a max fan up in the corner and then a skylight on the left side. And I think the skylight is one that you can crawl through. And so they'll probably put a little ladder on the wall and then you can go up the skylight, hop up on the roof, sit on the rooftop deck, clean the solar panels. And then on this back wall, there's gonna be closets over here for, I think, clothing on both sides, full size, like half closet, and then the bottom is gonna be drawers. And then the middle is gonna be a little vanity, makeup station, work desk type area. And then over here, this is gonna be the kitchen sink, and they have a couple slide out drawers, cabinets on the bottom. She's got a little thin little cabinet on the side here, like a little spice rack type thing. And then a pretty cool little propane fired oven and cooktop. And then there's some storage below. And then also there's some kind of storage situation going on there. Another big window, big door. Really nice windows she's got set up. Doors, another porthole. So yeah, this is the rig. Pretty nice. I think it's 14 feet long. So it's definitely Definitely nice, a little bit longer than mine, lots of space. It's got the 7-foot ceilings, almost 8 feet wide. So lots of room to move around, store your stuff. It's definitely a nice little box truck. Pretty cool. So that's what she's working with. Very cool design. I'm checking to see if that coyote comes back. It's kind of unusual for them to be roaming around in the day. How much does something like that run for? That's a good question. I'm really not sure. Um, the situation with this truck was she bought it, she hired a builder, and then they switched builders. And so Wanderbox has picked up the slack and they're going to be completing it. And I really don't know. The thing with custom builds is it just depends on the person that's building it, right? It comes down to just time and materials and how complex it's going to be. So I'm really not sure what they cost. But custom builds can be really expensive because it's a lot of time and labor, and every, from the design to every little thing that you build, it's a lot of man hours to make it happen. So, I mean, I would assume CMH Bullet coming in from North Jersey. Happy to see you, CMH Bullet. Chocolate syrup from Kansas. I would assume a build like this, labor alone, has got to be 50, maybe 50K, 50 grand, maybe. I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, they sell sprinters for 200,000. So I would assume labor on something like this, it's got to be 50 grand, at least minimum. And then all the materials, you're probably looking at another 20 grand in materials. So you're close to 100 grand for something like this to be professionally built out. And the thing is too, when you have a build like this, if you're going to hire a builder, you want to hire someone that's good. You don't want the cheap guy or the guy that hasn't really built these before and they're just taking on the job, because this is very different from like building a house. It's very different from building a sprinter. And so it's important you get someone that's experienced, and otherwise you might as well just not even bother having it built. You might be better off buying something that's already built that you can look at and see that it's acceptable to your standards. So you can find some builds for sale sometimes on Van Life Trader. They have rigs for sale sometimes. Sometimes you'll find box trucks. I know a guy that's selling one similar to this. As far as size goes and design, it has the fold-up doors, the bed bench, very similar design on like a 2003 Ford E350 450 chassis. It has the 7.3 diesel, and he's asking like 65,000 for his rig. And the rig alone, like just empty, is probably worth about 15. So kind of to give you an idea, and his is used. He's lived in it for a few years, and I've heard it shows its mileage. So just to give you an idea. I would not build for anybody. I don't have time. These builds take a long time. Outdoors Dreadhead, what's going on, brother? Happy to see you here, Dreadhead. These builds take a lot of time. This can take 6 months to a year to build out something like this. And I just don't have time. I do electrical and solar, and for me that's enjoyable because a job only takes me a few days and then I get to move on. I really don't want to be stuck on a job for 6 months to a year. That kind of locks me in one place. Chocolate, I'm live on YouTube, not Facebook or TikTok. What's my Facebook? I don't know. Nomad Brad. I don't know. There's a link in the description for this video, and it takes you to like my Linktree type page, and it has links to my Instagram and my TikTok. I don't really post much on Facebook though. It's mostly just for friends and family. So there's not much going on Facebook, but yeah, check out the links. Yeah, so that's it. I gotta say, there was a video that went out. A guy did a tour of my van on Instagram and put it out, and he has a lot of followers, like 500,000. And so that absolutely blew me up. Over the last couple of days, I've had probably 20 or 30 people reach out to me through Instagram and also email asking for solar work and electrical work on all kinds of projects. So I think old Nomad Brad's going to be busy, which is good. I need to make some money. So I think I'm going to be very busy for this year, and definitely going to be staying in California. until winter. So that's good. There'll be a lot of jobs happening, a lot of content, a lot of video and electrical. Matt, AK, make that bag. Absolutely, bro. I've been basically minimally employed for the last 5 years. I've been doing van life. I've always just done gig work and some, part-time jobs. I haven't ever really worked that much in van life. Before van life, I was an HVAC technician for 10 years, so I worked my balls off. But when I hit van life, I kind of kicked it into cruise control. And after 5 years of roaming around and kind of just being poor, I decided it was time to make some money. So that's what we're doing. We're working, we're getting paid, and I got to save up for my next box truck. My favorite platform to build out is the Econoline's Ford E Series. I really like the platform because you can buy parts anywhere. Mechanics are easy to find. Anyone will work on an Econoline. When you get into this kind of stuff, like Mitsubishi Fusos or Isuzu NPRs, you have to find more specialty mechanics. Parts are not as easy to get. And I just like to know that if I break down in some small town, I can find a mechanic to help, or I can order parts easily. So Econolines are my favorite. My next box truck is going to be a 2020 or later Econoline because they switched from the 6.8 liter gas V10 engine to a 7.3 liter gas V8 engine, and it has a 6-speed transmission. So people are reporting up to 15 miles per gallon, which is incredible. I'm only getting 10. And additionally, you get more horsepower. I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but the 7.3 is a larger displacement than a 6.8, so more horsepower, better fuel economy. That's a win-win. Diana asked if I got my truck fixed. I have not. I'm going up to LA on Saturday. I just confirmed with the mechanic. Shout out to Josh LLC for hooking that up. Really appreciate you, Josh, for making that happen. And so I'm going to go up and visit this mechanic on Saturday, and I'm confident he will be able to find a solution for me. So I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm hoping he can fix it in the weekend, but if not, if we have to order parts or it's some kind of major malfunction, I might stay in LA for a week, or I might come back to San Diego and return to LA in a couple weeks. We'll have to see what happens, but that's the beauty of, living in my rig. I just kind of do whatever I need to do. So if that includes staying in LA for a week, then I'll do that. That'll be fun. I have friends up there. I also have a couple jobs in the LA area, so I might end up doing some work while I'm up there, making some more money to pay the mechanic. Who knows? It's gonna get crazy. So that's fun. That's the nice thing. Even like today, doing this box truck job, I went in my van and made lunch, cooked up a steak a few hours ago. And it's just so convenient when you live van life that you have all your stuff with you. You never have to worry about like running out for lunch or going to grab something, or, you forgot something at home. Your home's always with you. So if you forget something at home, you just walk to your home. So it's pretty handy. I really enjoy it. Chocolate asks if I've had any break-ins. I have not. I had one attempted break-in in Texas, actually. Um, I was staying at my friend's business in his parking lot. It was like a small town Texas. It was a business complex, and there was just some tweaker roaming through the parking lot, and I had some tools sitting on my passenger seat, and so I think he was trying to steal the tools. But I was in my box truck sleeping, and I just felt my van like kind of rocking back and forth, and it woke me up. And by the time I put my glasses on and put some pants on and looked out the window, um, he had already turned around and walked away. And then I got out the next morning and looked at it, and he basically punched a hole in my passenger side door lock. And so he wasn't able to get in. He gave up and left, but he did screw up the passenger lock. So the passenger door lock is no longer functional. And but that's it. He didn't get in. And if he would have got in the box truck, seeing as how we were in the great state of Texas, he would have been in for some real hurting. So he's lucky he did not get into my box truck. Um, yeah, working on boats, I'd be happy to do that. I haven't had anybody hit me up for boat work yet, but it's all similar. It's car engines, and then they have, similar electrical systems, 12-volt electrical. No, I did not call the police. I'm not a police type of person. I'm a handle it yourself type of person. And so, like I said, if he got on the box truck, he would have been hurting. And he didn't, and so I just, whatever. What are you gonna do? I don't care. I'm not a police person, so I let it be. Yeah, lead dispensers are a must have. Amen. Yeah, so anyway, that's where we're at. Yeah, I haven't worked on boats. I would. Although I think the struggle with boats is it's hard to get enough solar panels, right? It's like where are you going to mount solar? Boats don't have roofs. You can mount some panels like on the awning, and you can mount some solar panels like hanging off the railings, but it's just not really a good layout on most boats. So but I do know they still use solar in boats, so it's still a good idea. And all boats have batteries and alternator chargers, so there's still a lot that could be done. But honestly, I'm making a lot of business contacts and money just doing what I do now. And the thing with the boat too is I have to haul all my tools from the van to the boat, down the dock. I don't have a dolly or a any kind of, what am I looking for? Like a hand truck or anything. So I'd have to get some kind of a dolly, I guess, to load my tools. So I like working on vans. It's what I'm comfortable and familiar with. And I think boats are actually a little more cramped, a little tighter quarters. So I'm totally cool with doing what I do. I actually had a lot of people hit me up about doing like food trucks and also like tiny house cabins, like off-grid cabins up in Northern California. So might do some of that. That'd be kind of fun. Charlie Pepin, hello. Happy to see you, Charlie. Happy to have you in the chat. Charlie Pepin, another great supporter, channel member. Love the support from you guys. Really appreciate it. And so we're just hanging out here talking about van life and electrical, hanging out in San Diego. And this is my view right now off the back deck of this beautiful box truck build. Here's the electrical that I did today. It turned out very nice. I have 3 days to complete the project. We might get it done in 2 days. I really got a pretty good head start on it today. Bunnies S. Yes, Matt AK got the fancy Battleborns. Those are not cheap. Those things are like a couple $1,000s a piece. So that's like, they probably got 7 or 8 grand just in batteries right there. It's crazy. Have I ever run out of battery power from cloudy days? That was a question that came in. I've never completely run out. When I was in Arizona this winter at Schoolypalooza, we had a storm roll through, and there was like, I would say almost 3 days of just overcast and not much sun, and that definitely put a strain on my electrical system. But honestly, the nice thing is like the weather was moderate, so I didn't need air conditioning, and so the only thing I really need electrical for is cooking and my refrigerator and my lighting and like charging my devices. That's really it. And so I have, as I mentioned before, 400 amp hours at 12 volts. And so that's plenty of battery power. And even though it was overcast, I was still getting some solar. So my batteries, I think they went down to about 50 or 60% for a day or two, but I never really got them down into the danger zone. And so that's one reason it's good to have a large battery bank. And I think my battery bank is like the minimum. 400 amp hours is about 5,100 kilowatt hours of electrical and of battery storage. And so I think, about 5,000 watt hours is kind of the minimum of how much you want to have in order to be able to go a couple days without sun. So I would start there for your system. That's just two 200 amp hour 12 volt batteries or one 24 volt. Wait a minute. One 24 volt 200 amp hour battery would also be 5,100 kilowatt hours. So that's the nice thing about going to a 24 volt battery is you get the same footprint, one of those 200 amp hour batteries, but with double the voltage you get twice the capacity. So you can get a 5,000 watt hour battery that's not too big, and it'll fit in almost any vehicle. So I think that's a good starting point for most of you guys. Hang out with a 5,000 kilowatt battery. It's a pretty good choice. And definitely I recommend fill the roof with solar, especially if you guys have vans. Your space is going to be limited. You're really only going to be able to fit 600 watts of solar on the roof. If you have a big roof rack, you might fit 8, maybe. If you like go edge to edge, don't have a max fan, you can just fill it with solar panels. This guy has 9 kilowatt hours in his Chevy Express and 800 watts of solar. There you go. See, 800 watts of solar in a Chevy Express. So you can do it if you max out the roof. I definitely recommend that. If you just have a nice window on each side, you really don't need a max fan. Just one good window on each side. And then you can do, they have some side ventilation options you can do if you really want to get some kind of fan. Blue Eddy AC 180 and a Honda generator for backup. Yep, I hear you. The generators are nice. You know, it's always good to have a second power source. I just don't. You know, if my system goes out, I'm in trouble. But so far, it hasn't been an issue. 6 years on the road, never had a generator. And yeah, max air fan on the rear window. I've seen that done on a few vehicles. Um, Seen that done on a few vehicles on the rear window. It's a good choice. It still creates a good draft, vents out all your hot air, and the rear that we know you can give up one rear window for a vent fan. I think that's a pretty good idea, and fill the roof with solar. 800 watts. You can do a lot with that. Um, you could probably run a small air conditioner in a van like a Chevy Express. You wouldn't need a big air conditioner. You could probably get away with a 5,000 BTU unit, and so 800 watts of solar would be able to handle that, no problem. Get the inverter style. If you get a window unit, get the inverter style compressor. It's going to be more efficient, and also it's a variable capacity, so it'll be quieter, and it'll be able to ramp up and down and create less cooling but run for longer periods of time, and so that's how you get a more consistent temperature inside the van. So the inverter compressor is definitely a good option. Bottle Boy, do I sleep with a loaded gun? That is a question I will not answer. Not answering that question, but I am a big proponent of Second Amendment, and it's a crazy world out there, and you can't always rely on calling somebody else to help you. Sometimes you got to help yourself, and so I believe in self-sufficiency and protecting yourself and helping yourself. And at the end of the day, sometimes it's you versus the bad guy, and you don't have 20 minutes for somebody else to come and help you out. So I think it's important to protect yourself. You don't have to use guns. You could use pepper spray or, you know, other options. Even just a big long stick or a baseball bat or something, you know, just something to protect yourself. I have a big shovel. It's a big long shovel for like digging holes, like a survival shovel. It's got a serrated edge on it. So you could whack somebody pretty good with that. Super soaker full of pee. Yeah, if you took your pee jug that's been sitting for about 4 days and then ran that through a super soaker, that would be enough to send anybody running away. 100%. Diana Saylor, I missed that. 550 watt panels. Charlie Pepper with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate you. Appreciate the support. It's hard out here for a van lifer. No, I'm kidding. I appreciate you guys. It helps keep the gas moving, helps keep the gas in the tank, keeps the wheels moving, helps me continue to do the lives. As I come into more electrical work, it's harder to do YouTube because electrical work pays really well. Desert Van Life, 920 watts of solar. That is a substantial system, and I like it. I like it a lot. I like 900 watts. And yeah, so I'm going to try to keep doing one video a week, but we'll see how that goes. On HVAC, I never did a bearing swap. Everything I worked on was residential and light commercial. And so pretty much, you know, when a motor goes bad, you just change the motor. It's cheaper to just buy a new... it's cheaper to just buy a whole new motor and swap it than to take the time and the labor hours to disassemble a motor and do a bearing repair. On the bigger commercial stuff, they do repair the motors because they're just so expensive and they're very complex and heavy duty. But in the work I did, we never did that kind of stuff. Question about off-grid without solar. Yeah, you could get by with just generator power, but then you have the expense and the hassle of fuel. So you're going to have to be running off propane or diesel. You're going to have to be hauling fuel back and forth, and it's an expense. So I don't know why anybody would not do solar unless you're covered in trees. even in Alaska, they do solar, even in Alaska where they get snow, they run solar panels. So I would encourage everyone to do solar. Panels are so cheap. You can get 400-watt panels on Marketplace for $100. There's no reason to skip out on solar. Solar panels on the side of a box truck, yes. I have a friend actually that put solar panels on the side of his box truck, and he shared the numbers on his Instagram, and they do really well, especially in the wintertime when the sun is lower in the sky. He gets pretty good energy brought in from his solar panels. So yeah, it's definitely an option to mount solar panels on the side of your van. I thought it'd be cool to do side mount solar panels with like a swing out awning. So like one edge was hinged. And so basically the solar panels would lay flat on the side of the box truck. But during the day, you could tip them up. You could put them on some gas shocks, tip them up. You have a nice covered awning. And then also you have a big, extra solar panel. So I think that would be a cool idea to maximize your solar input. Something I might consider, maybe on the next build. Yep, and it cools your van. The benefit, oh yeah, panels are way cheaper today. Like I said, the panels I bought are 320 watts. I bought them for $97 each, and that was brand new. Yeah, I'm sure in Alaska they have backup. I'm not saying don't have a backup generator. You definitely want to have a backup generator, but I'm saying your primary should be solar. I mean, for how cheap a panel is, and they give you, you know, unlimited energy from the sun for 10, 15, 20 years, it's kind of a no-brainer to do solar. But yeah, if you're somewhere where they have harsh winters, you're going to want a generator for backup. So definitely I would do that. And also, if you're off grid, you're probably going to be burning wood. So um, you can do a wood-fired stove or oven. You can do wood for heat, and then at that point, all you need electric for is like charging devices and maybe some lighting. But you wouldn't even need that much electrical. So even if you had 1,000 or 2,000 watts of solar, even if it's not really sunny out, as long as they have direct access to the sky, you're still going to bring in enough power to charge your laptop and a TV and stuff. So yeah, they do a lot better than you think. Um, about the gun question, I've never been scared in van life. In 6 years of van lifing, I've never been scared. Even the guy that was going to break into my truck, like, I wasn't scared. If he broke in, I would handle him. So I think that's more of a state of mind, more of a fear-based thing, but I've never been in a place where I felt fearful in my vehicle. Yeah, Santan Solar, if you guys want solar, santansolar.com. They have really good deals on panels. But watch my video. I have a video on cheap solar panel deals, and you can find them locally. What happens is residential solar installation companies, they'll have panels left over from a big commercial or residential job. I mean, they'll put up 50 or 100 panels on a single building, and they always buy extra just in case, or if they have some damaged in shipping. And so after the jobs are done, on they'll sell those on Marketplace. They'll blow them out cheap. So I've seen it multiple times in multiple cities. I saw 550 watt panels here in San Diego, brand new, for 120 bucks a piece. So the deals are out there. Is 2,000 watts possible on a van? Yes, absolutely. If you have a 14 or 16 foot box truck and you go end to end with solar, you can probably get 2,000 watts on the roof. I did not maximize my roof space. When I was in Texas, I was in a hurry to build it, and these 320 watt panels are the only ones I could find when I needed them, so I just bought them. But if I would have taken my time and shopped better, I could have got probably 450 watt panels, and I think I could have fit 4 of them on the roof. And so that would have given me pretty close to 2,000 watts. So yeah, I think you could definitely do it, especially if you add panels on the side. Yeah, you could totally hit 2,000. And 2,000 is a lot, guys. I mean, really, here's the thing. The only thing you need that much power for is air conditioning. That's the only thing. All your other appliances, your TV, all that other stuff, it doesn't use that much electricity. Like for me, I only use my air conditioner a couple months a year. All the other times, my van never gets below like 80% charge, and that's a small battery bank. You don't use that much energy. I mean, what do you use in a van? Refrigerator, lighting, power your devices, water pump. That's it. Electric cooktop. You use that for maybe a half hour a day. It just doesn't take that much energy. Vans are so much more efficient than houses. You don't have multiple rooms with all the stuff and all kinds of computers and devices plugged in. It's just so much more efficient. King asks me if I don't get my van fixed. So if this guy can't fix my van, I'm just gonna keep driving it until something blows up. I don't have money right now to replace it, and I'm tired of trying to find people to fix it. So I'm just gonna keep driving it until it blows up, and then I'll deal with it when that happens. So I am making really good money, and if I can nurse this thing along another 4 or 5 months, I can probably have enough money to buy a new van. So ultimately, the best case scenario is to keep this van until winter. Whether I fix it or not, I want to keep it until winter, and then I want to get a new van early 2025, a 2020 plus with a 7.3 engine, and then and then do a new build out. But at that point, I'll have money, so I'll hire some Nomad friends to help me. We'll knock the build out in probably a month or two. We'll just go ham on it. I might hire Wanderbox to help me if they're available, but I'll pay people. We'll just get it done, knock it out in the desert. I think that'd be a pretty cool series. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not worried about it. And I'll sell the van either way. You know, if I can fix it, I'll sell it in this winter. This winter, I'll get more money for it. If I can't fix it, I'll sell it broken. And I mean, it's fixable. It's not like this crazy issue. I just can't find a mechanic that knows what's wrong. But there's no, you know, it's fixable. It's not like it's unrepairable. I just haven't been able to find anybody that knows how to do so. What I really need is just a mechanic that's like an actual problem solver, troubleshooter. I'm sure in the South, some good old boy mechanic that has a shop in his backyard could probably have it fixed up in a weekend. I just don't know that good old boy. So anyway, even if I can't fix it and it breaks down and blows up, I'll still sell it at a huge discount. And someone can buy it, fix it. You could swap out the transmission and drive line. And, you know, if you swapped out those parts, then it would be fixed, right? So anyway, that's the plan. But I'm going to keep moving and just do my best and see how far I can go. So hopefully this guy can fix it this weekend. We will see. I will keep you tuned in. But anyway, either way, I think a box truck build in the desert with nomads helping nomads, doing a 2-month build out in the desert, I think that'd be super fun and enjoyable. Do a whole build series, lots of live streams, bring in the whole family. Everybody that has wheels can come down and hang out. We could have a huge meetup in the desert. I think that'd be fun. Would you guys come down to that? Would you guys come down to Arizona in maybe January or February and hang out for the party? Chocolate Syrup is in. Chocolate Syrup wants to come hang out. I'll see you there, Chocolate Syrup. I appreciate you. Matt AK is down. I know King Gamer's in. King Gamer's all in for the adventure. So that's kind of the plans. I think it'd be fun. And you guys could get some hands-on experience. If you want to see in person how a build out is done, if you want to help out and learn some stuff, if you want to learn some fabrication, some carpentry, some electrical, I could do some classes. I could teach you guys. It could be a whole thing. It could be a whole nomad class out there. That might be kind of fun. Free, of course, no charge, just sharing the information, sharing the knowledge, help everybody out. Tim, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. I'm just trying to help you guys out, share the knowledge, share the information, get you guys involved. King Gamer, I need to get you in on the electrical. I'm having a lot of jobs come in. I'm going to need a helper. And so the last couple jobs I've done with you around, I've just been in hustle mode. Hey, John C is going to bring the chorizo. I appreciate it. John C, bring enough for a whole army of nomads. We're going to be hungry working all day. But King Gamer, next time we meet up and I have some work, I got to teach you electrical so you can help me. We're going to be cranking out the work, and I need a hands-on helper. And I like King Gamer. He's positive. He's got a good attitude. He's down to learn. and so we'll see how he does with electrical, and hopefully he picks it up, and so he can learn a new skill set. King Gamer says he's down. Hell yeah, I like it. I like it, man. Yeah, I did a few jobs on the beach with King Gamer, but I was hustling to get the jobs done in a day and just knock them out. And it was kind of close quarters on those jobs, so there wasn't a good opportunity to have a helper. But I'm hoping to have a couple maybe box truck builds or something where there's a little more space, and I can get King in there and show him some tricks of the trade and see how he does. It'd be nice to have a Nomad friend that could help me out, and then additionally pay him, get King Gamer paid, and then teach him a skill set that he can then use to go out and make some money. Bottle Baby wants to talk about amp hours. What do you want to talk about, bro? Bottle Baby, amp hours per battery. What do you want to know? Lay it on me. We got 15 minutes. I'm going to cut out hard at 1 hour. I got to go talk to Jen, that's the owner of the box truck, about a few parts we need to order for tomorrow. I worked all day today, got up at 6, put in a full day's work. Now I'm doing YouTube live. Then I got to go talk to Jen, get some parts ordered on Amazon. Then I got to go to Home Depot. And then I got to go find a shower. The nearest Planet Fitness is 8 miles away. So we're going to drive 8 miles tonight to take a shower, get some dinner, go to bed, wake up tomorrow, do it all again. That's the life. That's the nomad grind. I love it, though. It's a good time. It's a very good time. We got 14 minutes left. What do you guys want to know about? Bottle Boy, where's the question, bro? I'm waiting. Talk to me. What's your question about amp hours? I'm here. It's free. How many do you use, and what would be the dream wattage? I have 400 amp hours at 12 volts. I would like to double that. I would like to have 400 amp hours at 24 volts. That would give me about 10,000 kilowatt hours. That would be a monster system. That would give me a week of backup battery, off grid, no sun. I could go for a week on that much battery power. That would be ideal. So that would be my goal, and it would be easy. Right now I have two 200 amp hour 12 volt batteries. I could literally swap those batteries out for 24 volt 200 amp hour batteries. Double my capacity, double my watt hours. That would be my dream. 10 kW is fantastic for what I'm doing. No way I would need any more than that. Not in this build. Maybe in the next one. I did a schoolie with 15 kilowatt hours. That was a pretty big one. Diana Saylor wants to know, how do you check solar panels before you buy? Easy answer. Get a voltmeter, click it onto volts, lay the solar panel out in the sun, hook one test lead up to one of the leads of the panel, the other test lead up to the other lead of the panel. Make sure your voltmeter is on DC voltage, and then you should see a voltage rating on the panel anywhere from about 17 volts up to 40 something volts, depending on what the panel voltage is. And so that's what you want to check for, is make sure the voltage coming out is good. And for the most part, solar panels are pretty trusty. So as long as the panels look good and they look clean, then I think you're probably fine. Like all the panels I buy on Marketplace, they're brand new. Like you can look at them and see they're spotless. The glass is clean. There's no marks where they've been mounted. So as long as you're buying new panels, you should not have any issue with them working. But test them with a voltmeter, and then you know they're good. Don't buy used panels. There's no reason to. Brand new panels are so cheap. There's no reason to buy used panels. Don't do it. No reason to. Don't do it. You can literally get a 400 watt panel for $100. And for Diana, you could put a couple 300 to 400 watt panels on the roof of your bus. Probably like 320 watt panels, Diana. If you get a pair of those, you could fit them on the roof, no problem. And that's all the solar you need. You should be able to get those for $100 a piece. So $200, you got all the solar you need, baby. 340 watts. That's plenty. Plenty of juice. And then get about 400 amp hours of lithium at 12 volts, 5,000 kilowatt hours. That's what I have. It's plenty. You can do a lot with it. Get an electric cooktop. You'll be cooking, baby. Cruising and cooking. All right, we got 10 minutes left, the final 10 minutes of the live chat. I appreciate you guys being here, chilling in DC. What's up, my dude? Happy to see you, happy to have you in the live. Chilling in DC is a regular supporter. We got 10 minutes left, and I'm going to wrap it up. So let me know what questions you might have, and we're going to cut it. I'm going to do another tour really quick, just show you guys the electrical that I did today. Inverter charger, links, distributor, and shunt, 2 solar charge controllers. They have 2 separate solar arrays coming in to each solar charge controller. Servo GX to monitor everything. Do I watch Will Prowse? I do watch Will Prowse. I love Will Prowse. He's very smart, very knowledgeable, very good with electrical and batteries. What I do is when I'm considering purchasing a battery or an inverter, I just go on Will's channel and look for his review. He's a no-nonsense guy, and see what he says about it. And if he says it's good, I trust him. And so I love Will. And he's got a lot of good knowledge about like actual how to crimp stuff, how to put together basic systems. All his videos are great. So if you guys want information and it's a video that I don't have, go check out his channel. Super good guy. And so I think moving forward, I think most of my videos are going to be electrical and solar related. Yes, Carl, Victron, this was a high ticket system. This is easily 10K in equipment, all the parts and pieces here. You know, but Victron sells a lot of units. It's a huge company and a lot of people buy their very expensive units. So people like it. People like it. Bufferoni. Am I buffering? Internet's a little sketchy down here. I'm down in like a canyon a little bit. There's trees all around me. So we're using the Nomad Internet hotspot. And so it's a little bit hit or miss. But I'm happy. So far, it looks pretty good. Hopefully the feed isn't crazy. Battle Baby, AGM. I don't like AGM. I used to use AGM, but lithium is so cheap and affordable. You get twice the capacity. An AGM battery can only get drained to 50%. You can take lithium down to 10%. You know, unless you're living consistently in very cold weather, like if you're in Minnesota in the winter, then get AGM batteries. If you're in Alaska in the winter, maybe, but otherwise there's no reason to get AGM. It's also twice the weight. It's heavy. There's just no reason. No reason, unless you already have it. If you have AGM, you don't necessarily need to upgrade, but I really don't see any reason to get it. Bifacial panels, I don't think so. I think bifacial is good on boats where they can catch reflection off the water, or if you have a solar array on the ground, you know, where there's like a lot of space between the back of the panel. But on a van, you only have a couple inches between the panel and the roof, so I don't think you're really going to get much gain from that. But if you see bifacial for sale, go ahead and pick them up. AGM lasts longer. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I've never had a battery. Lithiums go 10 years. Actually, AGMs don't last longer. What are you talking about? AGMs are like 4 to 5 years. Lithium is 10 years plus. I know because I had AGMs in my last few rigs. And honestly, I had Renogy 200 amp hour AGM batteries in my last box truck. Let me think about this. I'm trying to think. In my last box truck, I had Renogy AGMs. I might have upgraded. Anyway, and they, let's see, let me think back. Yeah, you know, they were kind of getting a little worn out. And I've had quite a few people that at about 4 or 5 years, they're having to swap out their AGMs. So I don't really agree that they last longer. Chilling in DC. Yeah, I agree with you, man. But what I think the thing is, the last couple months, I've done a lot of product reviews and my electrical work was pretty slow, but things have really ramped up thanks to YouTube and Instagram. I have gained a whole lot of clients. So I'm going to be working a lot as an installer doing solar and electric. And so it's hard for me. It's easier for me if I can just film what I'm doing and make a video out of it. So I think that's what's going to be my content moving on. It'll be a little day in the life and like some travel stuff, maybe going to and from jobs, but most of it's going to center around what I actually do, electrical and installing, and also that brings in more clients. So it's a good business decision. So I think that's what it's going to be. I'm not going to probably do any more product reviews. It just takes a lot of time, and they don't really pay you very much to do a product review. I can work a couple hours installing equipment, and I can make more money than a company is going to pay me to do a product review video. And then I have to spend all day filming it and meet their requirements and go back and forth with them. It just doesn't make sense. So for people that are YouTubers that aren't doing like regular work, like if YouTube was my only job, then that would make sense that I'm gonna, do a bunch of product reviews and stuff. But it's not my only job. Solar and electrical pays way better. So that's what the content is gonna be moving forward. Yeah, Lydia Rico told me she gets paid $4,000 for a 30-second video, or she did when her channel was larger, and that's amazing. That's a really good deal. I think a lot of those deals are going away because more people are taking offers now for less money, and she kind of mentioned that. A lot of people are just doing product reviews for free, and so it kind of dilutes the compensation pool. So if you get really big numbers, if I get videos that are doing 100,000 views a piece, then there is some good money there. And so we'll just see what happens. We'll see how the channel grows, but I'm not going away. I will continue to make videos. I appreciate having you guys here, and I love doing lives. So I'll always keep the content going, keep the knowledge spreading, and do what I can to help you guys out, have a successful journey, be successful in van life. And so with that being said, we got 4 minutes left, but I'm going to wrap it up here. I want to go talk to Jen and get some stuff going. I'm hungry. I haven't had dinner. I need to go make some food. And yes, King, I do see myself making videos in 5 years. One reason I like the videos is just as a personal documentation of my life. So I really enjoy going back and watching videos from 5 years ago when I first started. And so I want to continue making videos just so that I can document my journey, my travels, and what I've been doing with my life. So, at the end of the day, all we're going to have is memories and YouTube. So I want to keep it going. And if somehow I ever have children, I would like them to be able to go back and watch my YouTube as well and see what their dad did. I think it'd be kind of cool. So that's it. I'm out. It's been a great live. I appreciate everybody that joined. I appreciate the super chats. Each and every one of you, every dollar you pays me helps me out, helps fuel the van, and helps me keep making these videos and taking my time out to do these live streams. So I go live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, and I post a new video every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. So I will see you guys this Sunday, not live, on the regular posted video, and hopefully I see you next Wednesday on my live stream. And I don't know where I'm going to be at. I might be in LA still getting the van fixed. I might be in San Diego. Who knows? It's going to be a journey. But tune in next Wednesday and find out where Nomad Brad's at. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace.